welcome back. Right now, live in studio, we have Ron and Skylar Jackenthal to talk about the Live Like Sam Foundation. This is an organization that helps inspire athletes to be individuals of character and much, much more. Thank you so much, Ron and Skylar, for being here today.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
So nice having you both in studio. We recently, during this show, took a look back at an event you had in 2019 with Vessel Kitchen, with gathering community support to help the foundation. But let's start back with what this is all about, Ron. Tell me about the foundation.
Sure. So as many people in the community know, our son, Sam and brother, he passed away about 6 years ago. And Sam was kind of Park City's kid. Grew up here since the age of 2, was your very stereotypical, beautiful Park City kid taking advantage of all the community had to offer. And through his 16 years, he went from being just not only a great individual, but a great athlete. He was a U.S. ski champion for men under 18 to 15 and one of the top rollerbladers in the world, and just generally an all-around kind and generous kid.
And so you developed this foundation. Tell me, what are some of the essential components of the Live Like Sam Foundation?
Yeah, so I feel like what really drew people to Sam was just his overall love for life and the enthusiasm he brought to everything he did. So especially recently, we've been doing a lot of thinking about what it really does mean to live like Sam, and that's what people really think of when they think of Sam and how they want to live and how they want their kids to live. So he was, joyful, courageous, very empathetic to both himself and others. He was a natural leader, and I think the biggest thing that we really focus on was the kindness that he showed for others, which is something we've really looked for, especially when we give scholarships to athletes. We really want them to be kind people, just like Sam was.
And you're keeping his memory alive by focusing on all these positive characteristics of your son. What a tragic thing to have happen. What made you decide to start this foundation in his memory?
I think for any parent, it's really hard to say goodbye to your kid. And I think for us, there was so much attention and love towards Sam that even if we wanted to say goodbye, we couldn't. When we got back from Australia after his accident, the community had taken on our lives. It was a really beautiful thing. And for the month we were down there when Sam was in the hospital, the community really embraced us. They literally, between taking over the dogs, taking over our lives, helping us deal with the challenges and the traumas that we were dealing with, it was really beautiful. And it really showed Park City at its best. And then when we got home a week later, we had about 1,400 people show up at Utah Olympic Park for a public memorial. That was just, I think, for most of us that were there, one of the most stunning acts of kindness and love, and especially community, that most people have ever seen.
Really helped you understand not only Sam's impact, but how much he meant to this community and how much our young athletes do mean to us. So you started the foundation pretty quickly after he passed away. How has it evolved over the past few years?
Yeah, so I'll hit the first part. So, technically, we were a fund under the Park City Community Foundation, which does great work, as we all know. And we were a fund up until last year. And then about 2 years ago, I decided that I really wanted to see where we could take things. So I left my technology leadership job, started livelikesam.org, and we just went from there. We've gone from 0 partners to 50 partnerships in the community. We've got about 5,000 people that follow us now. We've given out a couple $100,000 worth of scholarships, and it's just been really fulfilling.
You've been able to help so many athletes. So Skylar, when you focus specifically on these scholarships and on the athletes you've been able to help and the impact of this foundation over the past few years, what stands out to you?
Yeah, so we really started with, in the beginning, we were just giving money to other nonprofits to give out to athletes. Recently, within the past few years, we've started partnering with bigger companies like Woodward to give out experiences and scholarships, and we really started now focusing on the Latinx community in Park City and giving out scholarships just on our own under Live Like Sam. But I think for me, what's most important about the scholarships we give out is that they're purely focused on kindness, and we only are giving scholarships to people who are good people and good citizens in this community and are really benefiting the Park City community. So they don't have to be the first place winner or the best soccer player on their team. We just want the kindest people. We want to reward them for, those efforts.
That's something that is really impressive about the Live Like Sam Foundation, is that you're looking at the entire athlete, what their needs are. It's not just the best, it's the one that maybe needs that extra help, that extra assistance, and the ones that are displaying that character that Sam exemplified in his life. And in fact, you recently did a community survey, Ron. Tell me about that.
We have. So we're still in the middle of it. But you know, what was important to me is that I feel like we've been operating a bit in a silo. You know, we intuitively know what are some of the challenges and opportunities within the community for our youth. But it really got to the point where, like, if we're going to take the foundation to the next step, which I would call phase 3, for us, it needed to involve leaders in the community and also citizens. So we sent out, well over 1,000 surveys. Some of them were very targeted to leaders, like civic leaders, leaders of education, of wellness, of sport, to just really see where they saw or where they see a gap in our community in youth enablement, youth wellness, youth fitness. And we're working through the results of that right now. We're super encouraged. We had a very, very high return rate, very high response rate. In some cases, it's what's giving us a little bit of delay synthesizing this information, but we were able to garner amazing information and really get very deep information from what the community sees as opportunities for us to step up our game to even fill more of a unique gap and be of greater value back to our community and to the youth and to our families.
And I know you've been able to focus also on mental health of young athletes, which is something that is a gap and something that isn't always focused on. But the Live Like Sam Foundation, you've been able to see that, acknowledge it, and find resources for these athletes.
Yes, yeah. And, no, it's good. We're getting there. We're definitely, last year we had our first live fundraising event at Utah Olympic Park. We're having our second one coming up on October 9th. Of this year, Live Like Sam Day. It's essentially a day of kindness that we created along with US Ski and Snowboard 3 years ago. We called out our pivot last year of starting to build out programming and scholarships more focused on mental fitness, which really highlight our youth having a positive and healthy sense of self-identity, purpose, character, involvement in community, and also giving back to community.
Which is very important. So grateful that you're focusing on these great aspects to help the overall athlete, especially as they compete now, but throughout their entire lives, they learn these skills and it really benefits them. So Skylar, tell me more about the Live Like Sam Day that's coming up.
Yeah, so like my dad said, Live Like Sam Day is really just a day of kindness where we encourage everyone to commit at least one act of kindness, whether that's be kind to themselves or be kind to others. We just want to encourage that. So this will be our second fundraiser. It's going to be on October 9th at Utah Olympic Park, and it's just going to be a great night. We're going to have over $150,000 in live and silent auction items, some of which are like amazing trips to the Bahamas or heli skiing or race car driving. We're going to have some really fun packages there. And we're going to have some great food, open bar, live music, DJ dancing, and for me the coolest part is the Flying Aces show. Sam was a Flying Aces athlete, and it's kind of a tribute to Sam's memory that they did at Sam's Memorial, and they did last year, and they'll be performing again to one of Sam's favorite songs, which is Firework by Katy Perry. So it's cool, and we would love to invite anyone in the community to come join us and celebrate, whether they've been here for 30 years or they just moved here last year. It's a great way for us to all come together, celebrate Sam's life, and support the work we're going to be doing for the youth in the community.
Now, you've taken a lot of time and put so much effort into this organization. You're heading off to college and many things going on, but do you think that Sam would be proud of how this organization has evolved and all the work that you're doing? I
think so. I mean, I really hope so, but Sam's biggest thing was being kind to others and inspiring others, and I think we've done our best to inspire others to live like Sam, so I hope he'd be proud of that.
Oh, definitely. Where can we get more information about the foundation, about the Live Like Sam Day coming up, if people want to participate and become a part of this?
How about that card over there?
Yeah,
there we go. So, our website, livelikesam.org, right there on the front page, you can learn more about the organization, and also right there you can see about the event, how to get tickets, what's involved in the event. And for those of our readers that have great eyesight, they can look at these blue goggles here. But look, we're excited. Last year we were the only live event in Park City. We worked very closely with the county, with the Utah Olympic Legacy staff. We pulled off a great event for about 125. This year we expect it to be twice that size, and we're excited. We're excited to bring people together, people to connect, people to be part of the community. I think it's never been more important in Park City than it is now, with all the influx of people moving in from other areas. It's a great way to connect and just celebrate Sam's life, but also celebrate living. And that's what Sam's story is not. It's much less about loss, and it's much more about life.
Which is what we all need to remember right now. Thank you so much, Ron and Skylar Jackenthal, for being here today. It's been very inspiring to see how many athletes you're helping as you continue the legacy of Sam, and to watch this foundation evolve and help many, many people. So thank you for your time today.
It was great to see you. Thank you.
All right, you can find out more about Live Like Sam online, just at livelikesam.org. And once again, thanks to Ron and Skylar for being here today. It's always inspiring to hear more about the Live Like Sam Foundation. We'll be back here on Mountain Connections after this.